Good morning to all our Sports Today family members. Here are the latest sports headlines that's doing the rounds this Saturday. And this Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be action-packed because we are now heading into the business end of the T20 World Cup 2026. And we begin with the first major news that is there, India's practice. Today, it's going to be a reversal. India will practice from 2 to 5 and Surya Kumar Yadav is going to have the press conference at 5 o'clock. Then South Africa will come at 6 and then they'll practice until 9. So that is why this is the arrangement that has been made for today. South Africa are preparing very, very hard indeed for this Indian challenge. Aiden Markram in particular will be the key because remember, Aiden Markram has spent time with Abhishek Sharma in Sunrisers Hyderabad and he will be the key to unlock the mystery of Abhishek Sharma that is there because he's under severe pressure. 3 ducks and counting. And that is why now this particular match is very, very important for Abhishek Sharma if he wants to make an impact in the T20 World Cup. Number 1. Number 2, talking about Abhishek Sharma, BCCI shared a video on what Abhishek Sharma was doing and he was seen giving a very aggressive pep talk to the teammates during the practice session. There was a huddle. You can see the BCCI video that is there. They are in a huddle at this point in time and Abhishek Sharma is giving an aggressive pep talk wherein he is motivating his guys to do well. So Abhishek Sharma, whether he'll be dropped or something, that is one thing that we do not know. But Mone Mokal, if you want to give any kind of indication about the press conference, he said that, look, there has been no such indication, no such talk even about the 3 ducks. We know that he's doing well in the nets, he's hitting the ball well, and that is why now this is going to be very, very interesting. But the off-spin debate has ensured that perhaps now India may have to tinker a bit with their batting lineup. Will they tinker with the batting lineup? Are they going to get another right-hander in place of a left-hander? For example, will a Tilak Verma be replaced? Will a Sanju come in? Look, the philosophy of this Indian cricket team is you will replace a batter only if he's injured. Only. If he doesn't get injured, he will continue playing. They will replace a bowler depending upon the conditions. So looking at the conditions at this point in time, it is very simple. We are looking at 2 changes in this Indian team we are looking at potentially 2 changes. Akshar Patel comes back in place of Washington Sundar. And looking at the situation, Kuldeep, unfortunately he's out, he'll continue to sit out. Arshdeep will continue to play. So maybe not 2, 1 change. 2 changes, can a Sanju come in place of Tilak Verma? Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. So that is the situation we are looking at this point. You will be getting more updates from Ahmedabad, from our correspondent who's there. So stay tuned to Sports Today for all of that. Now, Mike Hesson has outlined Babar Azam's role in the Pakistan cricket team. Babar Azam is not going to be back in the top order. This is the clear brief that Mike Hesson has given ahead of Pakistan's game against New Zealand at the Premadasa Stadium. Mike Hesson has clearly said that Babar Azam will not be back in the top order, and that is why how will Pakistan tinker with their batting lineup? Because remember, it's going to be trial by spin against New Zealand. Looking at the way how the Premadasa wicket is, Usman Tariq, Shadab Khan, Mohammad Nawaz, Saim Ayub, you got a very potent spin bowling lineup. Remember, Pakistan, they'll play the first game in Palakele, in Premadasa, then they'll play in Palakele, and then they are going to play in Premadasa all over again. So, Pakistan, England, Pakistan, New Zealand, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. That game could potentially be a knockout. So, Babar Azam's woes are continuing. He's not going to be part of the top order. Whether he will be sitting out or will Fakhar Zaman come in? Again, Mike Hesson gave no such indication about that. So, this is going to be a big, big situation at this point in time. Then, as far as the other cricketing news is concerned, we are building up to 2 major events. 1, today is the 3rd T20I between India and Australia in the women's series that's going on. The 3rd T20I is in Adelaide. And if the India women's team win, first time in 10 years that India women's team would have won a T20I series in Australia, then they will be aiming to end one more jinx, ensuring that they win an ODI series against Australia in their 40-year bilateral history ever. That's the one thing you're looking forward to at this point. Then we are building up to the Rising Asia Women's Asia Cup that is taking place, the Emerging Asia Cup. That is going to take place. India versus Bangladesh, that will take place tomorrow. India look the favourites with Radha Yadav there, and we are also looking at Meenu Mani there, and also all the others who are going to be there. So India looking very strong, but don't underestimate Bangladesh. They have come through to the first final that's there. Then if you're looking at other sports at this stage, today the India hockey team begin their Australia leg with matches against Australia and Spain. They will be taking on Spain. But India at this point, they have to really make a comeback because their 4 games at home against Argentina and Belgium, it was an unprecedented disaster for the Indian team. And that's why they have to bounce back against Spain. It's a tough assignment against Australia because Australia really are on a different level in the hockey field at this point. We recently had one individual, Jeremy Hayward, making his 250th game, and he's looking in great form indeed. So that's one thing that we are looking for at this stage. Then the candidates pairings are out, and we are going to see in the candidates chess tournament, Koneru Hampi and Divya Deshmukh square off in the very first round. And then after that, we are going to see one more instance of Ramesh Babu Pragnananda taking on Anish Giri. And Bibisara Asuboyeva will take on Vaishali Ramesh Babu. That's your first round of pairings. We'll be doing a detailed explainer on what is the candidates pairing, under what color they'll be playing at this stage, what are the rest days, what are the other things. All that will be up on Sports Today pretty soon. So this is the current situation as far as this situation goes. Now I'll take some comments. Will Sanju play 2 over in place of Tilak Verma? No, Ashish Ranjan, I doubt. As I mentioned, India will make changes if a batter is injured. If he's not injured, he'll continue playing. And making a change now in the middle of the Super 8s, especially in the batting, risky. But I'm not ruling it out. India, Pakistan, will all 3 reach semi-final? Tough. Because look, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, I think only one of them can potentially go through. Today, if New Zealand beat Pakistan, then their chances take a hit. England will then have to beat Pakistan then to ensure that Pakistan don't make it. So it's tough. But I think all 3 can make it. But it is tough. What are Zimbabwe's chances in the Super 8? Tough, yeah. Because they have got the inexperience of the knockout stages. I know that Zimbabwe have been playing cricket, but their knockout experience is not that great. And that's why you'll get an indication of how it is when they take on West Indies in Mumbai. So West Indies with Zimbabwe at the Wankhede, that's going to be very, very interesting at this point. Arnav, let's not get into that. See, it's a team. It's a team at this point in time, and everybody deserves their chances. I mean, it's how the system works. It's how the system works at this point. Why are we not going with Washington Sundar as all-rounder? Do you need an all-rounder? You got Akshar Patel, far better all-rounder. Far better all-rounder in that sense. And Arnav, that is not the reason. It's all banter, my friend. It's all banter at this point in time. That's the thing. And in 2024, Zimbabwe chased 178 against SL at Premadasa and was second highest chase at Premadasa. It seems that they have learned how to play there. But 2024 is slightly different from 2026. Because 2024 teams could chase. In 2026 teams couldn't chase. They bucked the trend at the Premadasa at this point. Also, SL have a terrible record at Premadasa in T20s. Won only 9 out of 34 games. Yeah, Premadasa is their ultimate nightmare. Can you imagine? Ashish Ranjan. So will Fakar play instead of Babar today? Fakar Zaman, I don't think. It depends. If Babar Azam is not at the top order, it doesn't make sense. SA batsman versus Varun Aksar in middle overs will decide the result. I think South Africa's approach against Bumrah and Varun Chakravarti will decide that. No Shaheen Afridi in rest of the tournament. Well, if Pakistan has stumbled upon the winning combination, then yeah, I don't see Shaheen playing then. Why was Babar selected in the first place in the T20 World Cup squad? Beats me. How can anybody be selected with an average of 20 and a strike rate of 103? How? I don't get that. And freaking awesome, New Zealand don't have a good record against Pakistan in T20 World Cups. They have won only 2 out of 7 games against Pakistan. It's going to be an interesting contest. But look at their head-to-head here. 24 Pakistan, 23 New Zealand. It is very even. And 50th, today is their 50th game. So it's going to be very, very interesting. At the 4-5 hours of heavy rain prediction, Premadasa today. I think Premadasa starting there will be a bit of rain. I think in the night time it eases off a bit. So either you're looking at a truncated game or you're looking at some other thing. Ashish, did Australia not take this World Cup tournament seriously? Check out what Adam Zampa has mentioned. I don't think that is the case. I mean, see, any team will struggle to recover, to play good without Hazelwood and Pat Cummins. And let me flip this question. If India were without Varun Chakravarti and Jasprit Bumrah, would they be able to win the T20 World Cup? Would they be able to win games in the T20 World Cup? I don't think so. It all depends upon the performances at this point. And again, Arnav, I do prioritize myself. There is a time and place for everything, my friend. There is a time and place for everything. If you want to give it back on the field, not through videos at this point. Can some of the matches in Sri Lanka get washed out Super 8? Could happen. I mean, Sri Lanka, there's always the threat of rain at this point in time. Arsenal versus Tottenham. Who are you picking? Ooh, Arsenal versus Tottenham. Basically, if you want a bit more drama in the Premier League, hope Arsenal lose. But I think Arsenal can make a comeback. I think they should bounce back today against Tottenham. So I would say that is the case at this point in time. And okay, please don't ignore women's cricket. Being human, I'm not ignoring women's cricket. We'll be covering that as well. How did Zimbabwe chase while Pak didn't? Again, better application, better skill than Pakistan at this point. And yes, point taken, Arnav. Point taken at this stage. And yep, that's about it, folks. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Action-packed day today. Don't forget, subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.